Hi, I'm Welcome Down the Road with Bobby Halton, and we're live again today from FDIC 2007. And with me this morning is my old partner from Texas, and one of my best friends in the whole world, a tremendous writer who you all know, the author of Pride and Ownership, Love of the Firefighters, Love of the Job. He's written just dozens and dozens of articles for fire engineering. He's exclusive to fire engineering. He's a member of our FDIC advisory board for the magazine, for the show. Truly one of the great leaders in the American Fire Service today, a great friend and a brother, Chief Rick Lasky.
Bobby, that's the best $20 I spent on an introduction, buddy. Thanks. Went up $10 from last year.
How are you? How are you doing?
Great, pal.
Yeah.
You know what? You and I have talked about this before. This show is incredible. And somebody asked me yesterday if I could explain my feelings about FDIC, and I've been coming here for years. It's magical. It's absolutely magical. I mean, you get to see somebody. We were just talking. Curtis and I were walking up, and we're looking at some of these young firefighters, and to see the kind of people that Greg Fisher trains all the time from U of I. These young explorers and young firefighters, and they're just bouncing around here. They're like, little Roos from the Winnie the Pooh cast. They're just all over the place, and then you see the guys who've been on the job and talking, and just it's magical. I don't know how else to describe it. It's a magical thing, man. I don't know how you pull it off.
I know it's not just me. There's hundreds and hundreds of people put this together, and I'm blessed to be a tiny, tiny part of it. So
they do a great job.
It's pretty neat. But what's funny is even the old guys like us are bouncing around like little roos.
Oh man, this is
I just ran across the floor. You should see. I mean, it's just you're like, oh man, oh that's so cool. And you want it all.
It's incredible. It's absolutely incredible. I don't know how else to describe it. I mean, every time, every year we try to send different guys from Lewisville, and you got to beat the guys that've been here before off with a stick,
right. And
the new guys come and they walk around and. You have to kind of put those little leashes on like some people with their kids at the grocery store because they just kind of wander around, dazed. And I'm like, we got to keep moving. You'll never make it through all this in a day.
Unbelievable. Hey, I got to brag a little about my buddy here. He won the Training Achievement Award about 6 years ago now.
Actually, a while ago. It was the Innovator of the Year Award, 1996.
1996. So
yeah.
Wow.
For the Saving Our Own program.
We're not that old, Rick. We'll say 6 years ago. Yeah, 12 years ago.
It was. It
was 6 years ago.
That was 6. That was 1996.
Holy mackerel! It's 12. We're talking 12. Yeah, we're talking 12 years, buddy.
Yeah.
Anyway, with the Saving Our Own program, which then evolved into the whole RIT issue, and it evolved into, combat and the whole deal. And I coaxed Rick. I know he's going to hit me as hard as he can to come back to leave the drill field this year for me. But you turned the class over to a great guy, two great guys, and Kurt and Danny did a great job. I couldn't have been prouder of the way they handled themselves. Rave reviews, really did a good job.
Just read the reviews, and Curtis Burt and Danny McDonough had been with John Salk and I since the beginning, and it's kind of funny if you remember, when we first brought the program. I mean, the whole Saving Our Own thing, that started with the loss of a buddy. I remember the day. I remember my wife collating all the articles in our house for the very first article when Jim Strzeski gave us the permission at U of I to do it. And the first group of instructors were John Norman, Don Hayes, Sal Marquez from New York, and Ray Hoff. Those are the five of us.
I went to that school.
Those are the five of us that originated and started the whole thing, and it just grew. And thank God it did. We taught it as a trainer because we wanted people out there teaching their firefighters how to save themselves. We weren't doing it. And then for John and I, we came together rather than have everybody bounce around. I think we were doing, the most we did one year was 240 students. And then, after you threatened us and we came inside this year, John, we were walking over money, and John had separation anxiety. He's walking around, he's like, what's the matter? He goes, this is so different. This is like, I'm supposed to be dirty right now. We're outside, it's supposed to be cold, or it's raining, or it's sunburned.
He came up to me and said, they got food in here?
Yeah.
And it's not in a bag.
Where's my little piece of chicken and and they do the meals out there. That's the thing people don't get. You bounce around, you go to a lot of different programs, a lot of different conferences. And I keep saying and I'm not saying, Bob, you're my buddy. I have no reason to make a big deal about nothing that's not true. It's true. Every year to see, and you sit down. I mean, they feed you. The hardest thing I used to say is for years with Jack Murphy when he was taking care of the classroom stuff for you. Is the biggest complaint we always get is I can't choose. I want to go to like 5 different classes. Can't you space them out? People just come out of those classrooms on fire, and you watch them. It's like, where are they going next? It's like they're all, I'm going, and it's like they come out, they hurry up, get a cup of coffee, and it's like a bag of marbles hitting the ground. They just scatter to get to the next program. And I really truly, if you look at it, I think there's something for everybody in there.
Oh, absolutely. And And thank you for coming back into the classroom. And Rick and John were kind enough to do 5 Alarm for me, and then you did Pride and Ownership, and John did his new one.
It's a new program about decisions on the fire ground
and what goes right, what goes wrong.
Exactly.
A couple of case studies.
And the nice thing about John, and I know this is hard to believe being from New York City, is he's very blunt about things, and he has no problem.
Never heard that before.
You being from, you were raised there, buddy.
Sure was.
Is the fact that he has no problem telling you right up front what's killing firefighters, and he doesn't worry about hurt feelings, because we got to get past that.
Right.
And he'll get down and dirty and tell you, look, this is what's happening, this is where we need to wake up and make things happen. But
that's what Pride and Ownership is about. I mean, when you read your book and you hear you talk, it's about that. It's about
all of us.
Yeah, and it's what I tried to kind of encapsulate. And I heard Rick was kind enough to do hour 45 for us, which will be up on the web.
I did about 12 Red Bulls and about 6 Monsters to get
that
that
was
done.
funny. I mean, I was like, how is he going to do this?
And then the furnace kicked on. I asked, he's the guy with the mics on the side going, I got the air conditioner going up. I'm like, dude, I'm ready to smash a window out and hit a wall. I mean, it's like, it was like one of Greg's programs. I'm like, holy cow, it's hot in here. Let me out. And but no, that worked out.
That worked out great.
But
it was incredible.
It's all the stuff that you and I have been talking about for years. When people say, oh, that's great, I go, it's the stuff that we've been screaming about from the kitchen table or on drill night, and it's the other stuff that we've been bragging about. And it's just, and I'm at a point in my career, I don't care who I offend. If you're a fire chief, I tell you, if you're a fire chief, a firefighter officer who doesn't love the job and doesn't care about your guys or doesn't want to train, I got no use for you. I'm sorry. I'm just to that point. Integrity and principles mean everything to me. And if we want to get serious, 116 initiatives, whatever it takes, I don't care. I'm just, sooner or later, you got to get serious and get your ass in the classroom or out there doing some hands-on and make a difference.
Well, it was funny because one kid came up to me after my little sermon yesterday when I talked about values, and he said, so you don't support the initiatives? I said, no. Those are behavioral things. I support them 100%. What I'm talking about is our values. That's a part of our culture, and they're fine. They're alive and well, and they're living inside of each and every one of us.
And you can relate to this. This is something, Bobby, I've kind of twisted into the programs I do lately, especially with your boys. And I know you're one of the proudest dads I know, and I know everything's going to work out with your son. He's just got a few things to heal and some other stuff. But if he's a Halton, he's going to pull through, and he'll be like doing Ironman contests in a little bit. And it's funny. I mean. And I tell people all the time, we used to talk about your kids, about me scaring the one, pulling up my car to take you home, and Bobby Halton, come out of the house in the buggy on the speaker.
You got to say, so our brand new house in Texas. We're there like a week, and my kids are in the backyard in the pool, and one of the older boy was home from the Navy and helping us move, and he had gotten a break. He's in training, so he got in a break, and he's got his little brother in the pool, and they're swimming, and they hear sirens and a man on the PA booming, "Come out of the house, Halton, we know you're in there," screaming into this mic.
With my wife and my kids in the buggy too, but
yeah. So then the rest of the story.
Well, then this kid just kind of walks out real slow and walks over to me and goes, "You must be Chief Lasky. I heard all about you." I'm like, well, that was certainly a whole lot of fun. I got nothing out of that but a slap in the face. But no, but and you, as proud as you are, and we used to joke about, my one son's flying fighters, and my other son, well, he's a rocket scientist. He actually is a nuclear But something kind of hit me. We went and, we had that loss in Denison, Texas. And very sad. 33-year-old firefighter, 1 year on the job, just came out of the military. Cantilever overhang, 200 by 60-foot strip mall. Heavy fire and 2 occupancies in a cock loft. Chief backs him out. After a while, says, come on, we got to get back in there, put it out. And they stand in a bad spot, unfortunately. Overhang comes down, pins the chief. This firefighter kills this firefighter.
His dad was
to make it more sad, his dad, 32-year veteran, was pumping the engine, actually put the pack on his son. And I went up and ran the funeral for him. We took the funeral chiefs committee, which you were instrumental, Bobby, and it was a very proud moment to see your plan come together for the whole thing. It was absolutely incredible, pal. We did the right thing for you. But I had a lot of my guys come to my office that have kids on the job. And this kind of ties this whole FDIC and whether you train or whether you're not trained, and the people that aren't here, the people probably need the most, and all that stuff. I had guys coming in that have kids on the job, and I had one in tears. He goes, I was so excited for my son to become a firefighter. I still am. I'm worried about who he's working for. And I asked people, we talk about passion, like you were talking about, is if you've got a kid in a job or you're about to have a kid in a job, you need to ask yourself a question. Who do you want your kid crawling into that building with? And is he going to crawl? You want him with the buffoon over here who refuses to train and disses this and has the bad attitude and just bitches about the job all the time, and here, just sign the drill, we ain't training today? Or do you want him with the officer, with that man or woman here that just has their act together, you know? That officer that he or she is going to make you get in and do your job, and you know, I don't care, we're going to train today. This is important, and they're there to be your leader first, your buddy second. And I think with the guys that have kids in a job or come in a job, it's been like a wake-up call. And it's kind of like, when you want to talk about passion, you want to decide where you're at, who do you want to be? Who would you want your kid crawling into that building with? This guy over here or this one over here? And I think your answer is over here.
I'll tell you, you're exactly right. And, you know, when you hear that story and you think about generation after generation of us coming in, like the Downey brothers following their dad, and this young man who lost his life, and, you know, we were both, you know, close to a lot of guys from 9/11, and how many dads and sons were lost there. And it's
how much talent and how many just so very special.
And it's
people.
what we're talking.
But they're still here. They're still teaching us. They're still here at the conference.
That's right.
Andy was out there teaching yesterday or the day before.
Absolutely. And Ray is right here over our shoulder, and Tommy's right here.
Dana, Billy McGinn,
and I really believe that.
They are. They're here.
Working through all of us now. And one other thing I just want to mention, I know Rick's got things to do, but I wanted to point out that we have a brand new column called Roll Call, and Rick is collecting the articles and out there getting guys, and John Salk is helping, and you know, I'm trying to find a guy here and there that seems to fit in. But we're doing a real different kind of piece, and Roll Call is going to be a piece that's going to be a little more selective than we've ever done before. It's got a theme, it's got a purpose, it's got a focus, and Rick is really kind of guiding that for us. And the other day, it was great. I got a lesson from our real boss, Diane Feldman, who we both adore. I mean, we both absolutely love this woman.
Chief.
The chief, yeah. She's we all call her
our five-star chief.
Our second wife. I mean, she's either of our wives would have no problem with the two of us sharing a room with Diane, because we know we love her so much, we adore her. But anyway, so we were doing this thing, and I said, you know, we should probably put Ricky's name up at the top of that. She goes, "We're not doing that. Tommy Brennan set the tone 20 years ago. We're the Yankees. We don't put anybody's name on anything." She said, "We're the Yankees." And I was like, how funny. And she said, "He wouldn't even put it on Random Thoughts. He'd be pissed at you for that book." And I'm like, oh my God. Oh my God. We're the Yankees. I was like, oh my God. I never thought Yankees have no names on their backs. She goes, "Look at your column, stupid. Your name's not on it. It's the editor's opinion."
But
I was like, oh my God.
And you're right, that whole series, that was you and Diane saying we need to do Pride and Ownership 2 or First In, Last Out 2, and there was all the bulletin points from all the programs that we never had a chance to get to, and it was like, no, let's not. We need to place something in the hands of the company officers, the acting officers, that either before roll call, Bobby, or during, whether it's the drill for the next day, or it's something for them to go over, or just a piece of information to make them better officers. So you're right, they're not to be long-winded features.
No, and they're not commentary.
Right. Take them out, put them in a 3-ring binder, and every month we're going to have. Are you running them every month or every other?
Every month. Yeah, keep them
every month.
I'll keep running them every month as long as you keep turning them.
We've got it. We have 39 so far ready to go. And we're using, you're right, so about 10 or 12 hand-selected. We're not going to water it down. Some hand-selected, hand-picked authors, some guys really with some good, those gold nuggets.
And even those guys are being highly edited. I mean, we're taking you know, no disrespect, but we're really taking these things to it's a completely different level. And eventually we hope Rick and I can take this, put it into a book form, put it out there, you know, start moving these things to places where guys can download and all that other good stuff.
And for the time being, do like they've done with all the other articles for the magazine. Pull them out, make a
copy of them,
hang them on the wall, hang them on the inside of the commode, you know, in the stall where you have to read it.
That's exactly right.
You know,
and Mr. B might get mad at us for this, but we don't mind if you photocopy them there at the library and hand them out, as long as you don't sell them.
No, and that's the thing. And most guys, you know,
wouldn't care.
I think if he knows to know that. You know, you got guys walking at the kitchen table, the young guys go, "Here, sit down, read this from Halton, read this, you know, read this from these guys." And I'll say it before we close out here, and I've said it for years. I say it every class I teach, among trying to give compliments to everybody that does such a great job in the fire service, because everybody, you know, there's so many wonderful people, is to see the impact that a magazine can have. That some people just think they gotta get in there. The impact, and he's not here, but it would embarrass him to know what I was saying, is Dave McGrail, one of your authors. Oh. The April 1993 issue of Fire Engineering, when he was willing to share, and Davey takes a beating over that sometimes, where some of his own troops think that he's airing dirty laundry, and it's like, no, you're not.
No, you're not.
You know, nobody. They were heroic. What they did is they brought something to the front of the room for us to get out there. I mean, literally, since Dave did that article, my life, I promise you, he has saved literally hundreds of firefighters' lives by sharing.
Awesome.
And I think the Denver, Colorado Fire Department and Dave, that department and those guys that were willing to do that are incredible. They have no idea what they've done for this fire service, and that's the impact your magazine can have.
And Dave's new book is out, Structural Firefighting in High-Rise Buildings.
They ran out. They had to order some more. They ran out like in 10 minutes.
Rick alluded to it earlier. My boy Evan took a fall. He's fine. Should have
Busted
died.
up.
He should have died, and the reason he didn't was because Ward Parker showed up, and I interviewed him the other day here, and saved my kid. Off-duty firefighter on vacation with his family, and there you go. Pride and ownership, love of the job.
There's nobody like us. I'm sorry. I don't mean to offend anybody.
It's love of the world.
From Subway or
There's
Sears, but
some kid he doesn't know from Adam. You know, and no disrespect to docs, but if that had been a doc, yeah. So if that had been a doctor or a lawyer or Indian chief, he might have kept skiing.
And I just said, I've always joked about that, and I love those two businesses I just mentioned. They're incredible, but you're right. There's nobody. I mean, you think about
That's right.
When you want to talk about family, you want to talk about values, you want to talk about people that. I mean, look at the volunteers. Over 80% of our departments are still doing it for nothing.
That's right.
And only 3% use even. I mean, no form of volunteer. To get up at 4 in the morning to go on a call, knowing you got to go to your real job.
Oh, yeah.
Tell me what kind of person. And I say this all the time. When I was asked on the one morning show, the news show after 9/11, if I could describe the fire service in one word, what would it be? And I said that's simple: family. If I was asked to describe a firefighter in one word, that's even easier. That's selflessness, and that's what you're talking about. The guy that took care of your kid. You know, it had nothing to do with him being a firefighter. That's because the kind of person it takes to be one is the kind of person that will do that forever.
Oh, yeah.
Once a firefighter, always a firefighter.
It's cops, it's firemen, it's priests, it's the military. It's that personality, and it's just great to be part of it. It's great to have you here, big brother.
Oh, this is, like I said, I wouldn't miss it for the world, man.
Shit.
I wouldn't miss it for the world.
Family's good?
Everybody's great.
Yeah.
You know, Ricky's getting ready for college, and Emily's playing ball. In fact, I'm going to miss day one of a 2-day tournament, but I'll get back for it. No, that's all right. You know, she's got her. Emily's 12. She wants to be an FBI agent. She's all hooked up with that and going to go work in D.C. with Christopher, my buddy. My son, I told you, wants to go to Texas Tech. He wants to get into sports writing because he wants to be like Ray Barone, because Ray Barone gets to eat free hot dogs. And I said, that's my boy.
What was the first thing we do when we get to Yankee Stadium?
Oh,
Me and Salka line up, pretzels.
I have no idea.
Me and Salka ran to 11 booths last time we were there. We show up at a game. Where were you? I can't remember. You were there. It was me, you, Salka, Canterman.
Oh yeah, we got
the nosebleeds. Remember, we got the last seats in the house. Wherever hey, good seats. Hey, buddy.
It didn't matter. It was hat day, and I'm in freaking Yankee Stadium.
We sent the hats home to Evan. Remember, we have like 14 hats.
It's Yankee Stadium.
It's Yankee Stadium.
It's Yankee freaking Stadium.
And what's his name? Godzilla.
Oh.
It's the dinger in the ninth inning.
Walk off.
With 2 outs. And we walk off.
We're all singing New York, New York.
Walking out. Unbelievable.
You know,
we're blessed. We really are. We're blessed, and we're blessed to be here. We're blessed to be part of this. And you know, God's been good to us with our families, our jobs, our friends, all of this. You know, so.
Hey, and Bobby, you're doing a great job.
From all of us, this is Ricky and Bobby. We're on the road. God bless you. Be safe. Thanks, buddy. See you next time.
Thank you.